Let's see how you do under pressure. Oh, yeah, I've been wanting this forever. I've been in the field with whatever they throw at me. Brush it off, pick myself up, moving on to the better. Hey, yeah, ain't no errors, baby, it's a new era. I wake up early, feeling rich like I'm Kesha. I get to the paper, boy. Extra, extra. Work with me.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome in to another episode podcast to talk about our favorite team, the Arizona Cardinals. Huge shout out to everybody that's currently in the chat right now. Do me a huge favor, smack up the like button here. Do it for the algorithm. Appreciate y'all for being here. We got over 30 people here on the YouTube side and over 60 people here on the X/Twitter side. Well, let me tell you one thing. For a platform that doesn't really like me at all, hey, a lot of people love to tune in here on the X/Twitter world. Appreciate the love. Appreciate the support, ladies and gentlemen. Let me go ahead and just do a real quick shout out to the sponsors of the AZ Sports Fan here on YouTube. BetUS. Looking for a brand new sportsbook? BetUS is the way to go. Currently, right now, if you use promo code YouTube150, they will provide you with a 150% sign-up bonus on your first deposit and a 125% sign-up bonus on the following two. That's going to be using promo code YouTube150 upon signing up. Of course, bet responsibly and bet within your means. But ladies and gentlemen, we're doing it again. We're doing it again. Another late night stream to talk about what happened in these playoff games. And, man, what a snooze fest. What an absolute snooze fest we were in for today. An absolute snooze. The Vikings got absolutely demolished. And I mean demolished. What the heck did we watch? Now, I'm going to come out here and say one thing. I was wrong. I was wrong. I was wrong. I was wrong. I came out here and said the Vikings are going to win this game. The Vikings are going to come out here and do good things and take care of business. They're going to come out here and, show our division rival, the freaking Rams that are playing at our home, right, that there are no pushovers. Well, here it is, ladies and gentlemen. The Vikings suck. The Vikings are terrible. Okay, well, let me rephrase that back, right? The Vikings as an organization, the team isn't terrible, right? But man, what a terrible performance that we ended up seeing from the whole team today, right? They might not be a terrible team, but today they were absolutely god-awful to watch, right? You blinked your eyes, and they were down so far behind that even when they were trying to make a comeback in the third quarter, like they didn't even feel like they were even going to make a dent in what the Rams have done. The Rams absolutely smothered, and I mean smothered, Sam Darnold today. Smothered Sam Darnold. This man was sacked, what was it, like 7-8 times today? This guy he couldn't do anything. Nothing he could do. Now, I guess I'll say what I have to say, and it sucks to say it, but congratulations, Los Angeles Rams. You've made it now in the division round. Congratulations. I guess for what it's worth, congrats, right? Matthew Stafford played a pretty darn good game. Sam Darnold was seeing ghosts again, and he didn't look good, man. He did not look good at all in this game. Now, no, 9 sacks. Oh, my God. There was 9 sacks in this game. What the heck was... 9 sacks. I think he got sacked like 6 times before the second half even started. Like, it was brutal to watch this game today. Brutal. Any chance of the imagination for Sam Darnold to have any sense of, what's the word? What am I trying to say? Oh, value for free agency? That's out the window, ladies and gentlemen. That's out the window. Sam Darnold, I guess you got to give him credit for this regular season. But just like I've been saying for a very, very long time, right? Although maybe it might have not have been Sam Darnold's fault 110%, right? Because that offensive line sold, man. That offensive line sold. But just like I've been saying, it's exactly the same comparison, right? That we've been talking about for weeks now. The quarterback gets the blame when they lose, and the quarterback gets the flowers when they win. This is exactly what I'm talking about. This is exactly what I've been talking about. That's just the way the NFL works, right? And if you're talking about your specific team, of course you get in your feelings a little bit because you're like, oh man, you want to find every single little solution. But what is the national media saying right now? What is the national perception on Sam Darnold? What's the national perception? This guy's booty cheeks. He's not going to get paid that much. Am I right or am I wrong? That's the way the NFL works, ladies, and just the way the NFL works. His offensive line did not do him any favors today. No favors today. But that's no excuse. No. I'm going to keep doing what I do, right? And what I keep doing is the quarterback, man. Sam Darnold. When the lights were the brightest, the ghosts reappeared. This was a bad performance, man. A bad performance from Sam Darnold. Is there going to be a team that's going to be sucker enough to pay him? Maybe. I mean, maybe there might be. I mean, there's a lot of teams that are looking for the services of a quarterback. That's for sure. So is there going to be a sucker team? Maybe, but I don't think he's going to get paid as much as he thought he was going to get paid anymore. Like, this was one of those bad performances that you need to step back and say, oh, man, that's a Sam Darnold I remember, right? That's a Sam Darnold I remember. This offense couldn't get nothing going in this game. Nothing. That Rams defense smothered the living heck out of them. Their leading receiver was not Justin Jefferson, although respectable. 5 receptions, 58 yards. TJ Hawkinson was the guy who got more yards. 5 receptions, 64 yards, and a touchdown. And that touchdown was that breakaway, right? And I believe Witherspoon ended up pulling a hammy or something like that because he couldn't finish chasing after TJ Hawkinson. It was pretty much a walk-in. So, yeah. Bad from the Vikings. Let me just say one thing, right? Watching these playoff games, it really makes me kind of frustrated a little bit that the Cardinals did go 2-5 at the end of the bye week. Because truthfully, like this Vikings team, although their record shows that they're a very good team, right? And they should have been in the playoffs. When we played them, we only lost by 1 point, right? Wasn't it 1 point? We only lost, it was like less than 3 points, right? It wasn't very much. We got beat by the Vikings by 1 or 2 points, if I can remember correctly. And all we needed was a field goal. It's just we couldn't get it done, right? Rams, same thing, right? We were right there. We were right freaking there in the end zone. Ball gets batted off of freaking Trey McBride's head. Interception happens in the end zone. We could have beat the Rams. The Panthers, oh my God, don't even get me started on the freaking Panthers game. And if you just took just one from the Seahawks, this could have been a much different playoff. We wouldn't have to be dealing with this. This was terrible. This was a terrible performance left and right, man. This wasn't good at all. At all. Biggest thing I'm really looking forward to see in this year's free agency class is where does Sam Darnold go and does he get paid? Does he get paid? Like I said, there might be a sucker team out there, but he's not going to get paid as much as people might have at one point thought. No, this is the Sam Darnold that everybody remembers, unfortunately, right? And although not 110% his fault, you can acknowledge that the national perception is you either are, you're riding the coattails of your quarterback. He didn't have a good game, man. He really didn't. So this is going to lead me to this, right? Sam Darnold seeing ghosts again. Now, I know that there's a lot of Cardinal fans, or actually, I'm not going to single out Cardinal fans. I know there's a lot of fans out there, right? And I'm talking about all across the NFL. Because believe it or not, before this game, just like every other website out there has it, right? That Sam Darnold was one of the top 5, if not 5, top 10 potential free agents going to hit the open market, right? Go to every website. I almost promise you Sam Darnold was either top 5 or top 10 best potential free agents that are going to hit the market this year, right? I mean, this only tells me one thing. This game only tells me one thing. He's probably going to be a free agent. This game only tells me one thing. He's probably going to be a free agent. They're probably going to be riding the coattails of J.J. McCarthy, which is the rookie that they ended up getting in this last draft. Now, what Sam Darnold did this year in the regular season was pretty darn spectacular, right? So you got to give credit to where credit is due. Sam Darnold played a very, very good regular season. When the brights were the lightest, or when the lights were the brightest, crumbled, man. Crumbled. So what say you, chat? What say you for the people out there that wanted Sam Darnold, right, as a potential bring him in, compete, or get rid of Kyler? What say you, chat? What say you? Because honestly, right now, it was never even a thought to me. Obviously, his name has popped up a couple different times whenever we're talking about quarterbacks, but I never once ever said this is what the Cardinals need to do, right? Never really fully bought into the idea that he was going to be this guy for a different team. But this kind of just shows, right, that, good coaching can take you far. It can, right? But just like the Cardinals, right? Heart can take you far, but talent surpasses that sometimes, right? The Rams look like a scary team. They really do. I'm actually really, really worried about what the Rams are going to look like next year because of all their young talent they have on that roster. Jared Verse, oh my God, what a freaking beast. Braden Fisk, oh my God, my goodness. Like, it almost seems like a lot of the draft picks, like, they just work. They're working. I'm worried about the Rams. I'm not going to lie to you. Next year, I'm worried about the Rams. And I know we all talked about a potential regression from Matthew Stafford. Now, coming into the season, I still had Matthew Stafford the best quarterback in this division, right? Until somebody takes that torch away from Matthew Stafford, there's just no comparison. Matthew Stafford is the best quarterback in this division. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He's accomplished the most. He is winning in clutch moments. He is the best quarterback in the NFC West. Of course, there was talks, especially when they started the way that they started, right? With that terrible start, with all the injuries that they ended up having. Oh, regression. Are they going to trade away Matthew Stafford? They stuck to their guns, man. Stuck to their guns. And guess what? They're going to the division round. Oh, I hate this. I hate this so freaking much. I got to give kudos to the Cardinals organization taking my fandom hat off. I got to give kudos to where kudos is due, right? With what Michael Bidwell and the team and the people that work at State Farm Stadium did in the short period of time that they did it in was pretty darn remarkable, right? Pretty darn remarkable. If it didn't happen here, right, in State Farm Stadium, then of course I would be more, I would talk about it a lot more, right? But taking my fandom hat off, I want to say honestly, one of the most humble, nicest things I've seen a owner do for another organization. Obviously, what's happening in LA right now is terrible, right? With currently what's going on right now and all the fires that's happening. So with what Michael Bidwell, the owner of the Arizona Cardinals, has done for the LA Rams organization, definitely deserves a clap for sure. But damn, let's go back to it. But dang, why here? Why here? The Rams look like a scary team, man. The Rams look like a pretty darn scary team. The way that the NFL or the playoffs are going to shake out now, we already knew what the NFC side looked like already. I'm sorry, not the NFC side. I apologize. We already know what the AFC side looked like already. We are going to have the next week, the divisional, right? On Saturday, you're going to have Texans and Chiefs. Go Texans. Please do us a favor. Do what America wants. Take the Chiefs out of the playoffs. So you got the Chiefs and Texans on Saturday, January 18th at 2:30 p.m. The late game on Saturday is going to be Commanders versus the Lions at 6 p.m. And then you got the two Sunday games. You got the Rams and the Eagles at 1 p.m. And then you got the Ravens and the Bills at 4:30 p.m. on Sunday. We got a lot of good games coming our way next weekend, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of good games. It's just when you're watching these playoff games, it's hard not to think about your team and what could have been, right? 2-5 after the bye week is not going to get it done, right? Is not going to get it done. I hope we learn from it. That's all I can really say at this very moment. I hope we can learn from the mistakes that we've done in these last, what, 7 weeks after the bye week. All I can say is I hope we learn. That's all I can say. But I look at them, especially this game specifically, right? Because the division was right there in our hands, man. It's right there. So, Sam Darnold, man. Sam Darnold. He still might get paid. He still might be. Again, maybe not as much as he thought, but I still think that there's going to be a team out there that's going to require his services. Believe it or not. Like, that's how bad it is right now for some teams. It's pretty bad right now. So, Sam Darnold, what is accomplished, right? What, 13, 14 games in the regular season win, right? Or is it 15? Something like that. He's probably going to get paid. He's probably going to get paid somewhere. So, good for him, right? What he's accomplished, good for him. I personally wouldn't do it. I personally wouldn't do it, but, there's going to be a team that probably want to serve. And here's the thing, too. This draft class for the NFL in 2025 for the quarterbacks isn't good. Isn't good at all. So, there's going to be a market. There's going to be a market for him, for sure. Let's talk about this. I didn't want to believe it. But what you've seen in the let me ask you guys this. Let's start off with this. Let me ask you this. Do you see a Super Bowl team with the Rams? Be honest. Do you see a Super Bowl team with the Rams? Now, let's be very clear. There's 4 teams left in each conference right now, right? So for the NFC side, you got the Commanders, you got the Lions, and then you got the Eagles and the Rams, right? So obviously, you got to be one of the best of these 4, right? For the NFC side. I'm not saying can they win the Super Bowl, but I'm saying, do you think that they actually got a fair chance of making it in the Super Bowl, right? Because to me, I still think that the Super Bowl winner is probably going to be an AFC team, whether it's going to be the Bills, Ravens, or I don't know if I say I want the Texans to win just because of my own, I'm tired of seeing the Chiefs, but, we got to throw the Chiefs in there. As long as they are, within contention, they always have an opportunity to win, right? So my question to you in the chat is, do you see this Rams team as a potential Super Bowl team, right? Because right now we've seen this organization do it before when they didn't start off good and then they go into somehow playoff mode, right? And then they go on some sort of different level and they just look good, dominant. That defense, man. That defense looks pretty darn scary. Now, I trust Jaden Daniels more than I do Darnold. Now, I trust Goff more than I do Darnold. And I kind of trust Hurts more than I do Darnold, right? So there's a lot of layers to this. They got to get through the Eagles first, right? If they can get through the Eagles, dang. This Rams team, man. They're hitting a stride. That I never thought that it was possible, man. Good for them. It sucks to say. It really does. It sucks to say. But good for them. They hit on their first 2 draft picks. They're having an amazing start to their young careers. They were big, impactful plays on Sam Darnold today. And they punched their ticket into the division round, man. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We got my guy Andy in the chat says, Rams good. Rams good defense, but Vikings bad O-line. That's fair. I mean, well, here's the thing, right? Sometimes we blow things out of proportion, especially when things are very, very fresh. Things are very, very close, right? So if you really look at it, right, the national perception is that Sam Darnold is booty cheeks, right? Like let's be honest, right? And this is what people don't understand, right? Especially when you're talking about a quarterback. And unfortunately, if it's your quarterback, sometimes you get in your feelings, right? And you do want to use all these excuses. But look at the national perception out there. Just look at it. Look at the national perception. Whose fault is this? Most people are saying this is Sam Darnold's fault. If you really look at the game and really dissect on what happened in this game, Sam Darnold couldn't do nothing because this Rams defense harassed him. Harassed him, right? So does Sam Darnold have fault? Yes, he does, right? Not 100% his fault, right? But he's got fault. But what's the national perception saying? That's Sam Darnold's fault. You're not going to get paid. Oh, man, you're not going to go anywhere anymore, which I think that's actually incorrect. I don't think he's going to be a Viking. He is still going to have a market because of how not very good this quarterback class is. I think he's still going to get a job somewhere, right? Somebody's going to get suckered into paying him. Let's just put it at that. I don't think it will be a Viking. I think the Vikings are going to try to start their development of J.J. McCarthy, which younger guy, cheaper guy with high upside, with the weapons that they got. Let's see. Let's see what they do with J.J. But yeah, this Rams team looks really, really good. Really, really good. Guy in the chat says, after we watch this game, we know how Kyler feels, need a good O-line. Well, yeah, I mean, the trenches are very important. Yeah, absolutely. Trenches are very, very important. The Cardinals actually had a pretty underrated offensive line this year. Believe it or not. People don't want to believe it, but the offensive line was actually pretty darn solid. They weren't great. They weren't top 10, but they were pretty darn solid. In terms of not providing too much pressure, it's just we weren't able to execute on those explosive plays, right? When pressure things kind of got unraveled, right? Just kind of like the broadcaster said when it came down to Sam Darnold, right? There were some plays that Sam Darnold stood in the pocket, delivered the ball where it needed to go, but a lot of the times it was just panic mode, right? He did a little too much. It was a little too much happy feet, right? So the Cardinals probably were, right, when JG says we're close. We're not there yet, but we're close. I mean, we got to get those explosive plays. Get that deep shot to Marv. Get that deep shot to Michael. Get the deep shot to Trey, right? Those are going to be the explosive plays that make us into a good team to a playoff team. That's what we need to work on in this next offseason. Absolutely. Well, here's the thing, right? The reason why I asked you guys, do you think the Rams are a Super Bowl team, is because obviously recency bias right now that's currently going on, right? It's going to be a tough out. The Eagles are going to be a tough out. I'm not going to lie to you. That's going to be a tough out. If they beat the Eagles, that's going to be very, very fascinating to see what happens. But the Eagles are going to be a tough out. But I personally thought that the Vikings were going to be a tough out. But look, no, I was wrong there. The Vikings got whipped on national television. I'm actually kind of curious to figure out how these Vikings fans actually feel about this loss because, they've accomplished a lot in the regular season. It's just when the lights were the brightest, unfortunately, Darnold couldn't perform, right? So I'm curious to figure out what Vikings fans feel right now. They always kind of seem to be the team that's right there, but can never get the job done, right? So, yeah, man, this is going to be very, very interesting. Off season, and I mean, obviously, March can't come here any sooner. I want to start talking about 2025 already, which we already started talking about 2025, but I want to start getting some news, right? I'm start getting some news here for the Cardinals. We got my guy in the chat says, after the Vikings L and the Chargers L, I bet you guys feel better about Murray. Well, I mean, to me, I still feel the same. I'm not going to lie to you. I still feel the same personally. I still feel the same. Because to me, I'm not worried about other quarterbacks, right? I'm worried about what's happening here, right? So to me, I still feel the same personally. It just makes me feel like, dang, we should have been here. That's what I'm worried about. Oh, we were 2-5. You know what? After the bye week. That's what I'm worried about. We should have been here. That's how my mind works. I mean, I'm already set in my mind that we're going to have Kyler already in 2025. So, I mean, it is what it is, right? It is what it is at this very moment. So, doesn't make me feel any better, personally. I mean, let's get to the playoffs. Let's get to the playoffs first, and then we'll have those conversations. That's just the way I like to think of it. We got my guy in the chat here. Says, thank you, AZ, for all the support to the Rams during this craziness. Yeah, man. If you were here, hopefully you enjoyed it. If you weren't here, yeah, the AZ, well, I guess Michael Bidwell, the owner of the Arizona Cardinals, they really went all out, man. They really went all out to make that feel like a Rams home game. Hurt a little bit, I'm not going to lie, but obviously taking off my fandom hat, it's a really cool thing to see, especially such a short period of time to get that accomplished, right? So, yeah, it's one of those things, man, where it's what it is. Because everyone was talking about Sam Darnold and Herbert. Now they're calming down. Well, I mean, Sam Darnold has still take this playoff game or playoff loss out, right? He still has accomplished a lot in the regular season, right? He's accomplished a lot. Now, can that translate to a new team? I don't know, right? Maybe he just had the perfect setup in front of him. And obviously, Kevin O'Connell seems to be pretty darn smart with the way he was using them, and he was making the right throws, right? Herbert, on the other hand, I remember somebody asking me, and this was 2 or 3 years ago, do I think Herbert was elite? And I was like, no, I don't. I don't think Herbert's elite. So it's not something that, to me, it makes me either feel better or feel worse. It doesn't matter to me. But I see where you're coming from. I see where you're coming from. There is fans from this fan base that wanted the Cardinals to go in on Sam Darnold. So you're right there, right? So I'll give you that. There is fans that did want the Cardinals to go Sam Darnold, whether that was trading Kyler or releasing Kyler, right? They didn't care, right? So I'll give you that. But to me, I mean, Herbert's a good quarterback, but that's kind of what it is for me. Like, there's only 3 elite quarterbacks in the NFL. Only 3. I hate the fact that elite gets thrown around so loosey-goosey this year, right? And of course, like, I say some dumb things here on X and Twitter sometimes because, like, X and Twitter, it doesn't mean nothing to me. Like, it doesn't mean anything. Like, people take X/Twitter way too serious. I'm going to be completely 110% honest with you guys. It doesn't mean anything to me. It really doesn't. Like, it does nothing for me. It's just something where I can voice something out really quickly. That's all it is. But going back to what I was saying, there's only 3 elite quarterbacks. 3. Only 3. Mahomes, Justin Fields. Wow. Justin Fields. Look at that. Look at that. Let's try that back one more time. Let's try that back one more time. Josh Allen, Mahomes, and Lamar Jackson. The only elite quarterback. And Lamar hasn't gotten a Super Bowl, right? Lamar hasn't gotten a Super Bowl. That only will make him more elite. But those are the only 3 elite quarterbacks to me, in my opinion. Joe Burrow is and I know people are going to, what about Joe Burrow? Very, very notable. Very, very notable. He's probably 4 on my list. But I never thought of Herbert as that. He's a good quarterback. I mean, that's kind of where we're at right now. We got a good quarterback. Elite? No. But, I mean, you can make plays. You can win a Super Bowl with a good quarterback. You can. So, that's kind of how I feel in this whole situation. So, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Whoa, yeah. I got caught slipping on that one. I mean, at the end of the day, everyone's elite in the end. Okay, then we can't have conversations then, Richie. Okay, then we can't have conversations then, Richie. No. If you think everybody's elite in the NFL, that's kind of probably where the problem in terms of why people are throwing that word around. Or what the word elite to me means something different. So I guess it's just a difference in opinion of how we use the word elite, right? It's like love, right? I remember at one point people used to throw the word love everywhere. Oh, I love you, I love you, I love you, right? That's probably what it is. Okay, cool. I mean, I guess because you want to use, to me, elite means something to me. And there's only 3 elite quarterbacks in the NFL. Only 3. And Justin Herbert was nowhere near that elite. Ever. He's a good quarterback. That's all. Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. That's it. That's it. Everybody else, you could still win a Super Bowl around them as long as they put a good team around them, right? Matthew Stafford is, he's definitely top 5, top 6, top 7. Matthew Stafford is a beast, man. No matter how much older he's getting, and I know the ride's going to end here pretty soon, maybe within the next 2 years or so for the Los Angeles Rams when it comes down to Matthew Stafford trying to call it quits. But right now, he's still playing really good. Still playing really, really good. Yep, Stafford is good, 100%. Stafford is good. Steven in the chat says Rams are so used to winning in our stadium. Ugh. Come on now. Come on now. Richie in the chat says, bro, not everyone gets in the NFL. That's what I mean by the grand scheme of things. Everyone in the NFL is elite. I mean, you can say everybody in the NFL is good. I'm cool with that. Not elite. I mean, okay, well, what do you put Mahomes? If you're going to call, okay, so if you call everybody elite, then can we call Mahomes, Josh Allen, and Lamar Jackson Goku? Can we call them like sports gods? Like, can we call them something different? They need to be in a different tier. They need to be in a different tier. So if you want to throw the word loosey-goosey, like elite everywhere, okay, I'll give you it. Then put them on a different tier. They're not in the same ballpark as most of the teams that have their quarterbacks right now, right? Tua, no. Who else just got paid? Trevor Lawrence, no, right? No, right? Okay, here we go. Mars. Okay, I'll give you it. Elite. I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you. Okay, elite. Superhuman. Superhuman. There you go. Superhuman. Superhuman. Okay, I'm cool with that. Everybody in. Okay. I'll play this game, Richie. I got you. I'll play this game. I'll play this game. So everybody in the NFL is elite. Those 3 quarterbacks are superhuman. There you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. I love it. Okay, love it. Yeah, Jordan Love got paid as well. Yeah. No, he's a good quarterback. I mean, he's good. He's definitely good. I mean, but superhuman, he's not, right? Superhuman, he's not. So I'm just curious, man. I'm really curious to figure out how far the Rams can actually take this, right? How far the Rams can actually take this high that they're currently on right now. Because what I've seen, like, usually when the Rams hit the playoffs, they're a different team, man. Like, when the Rams hit the playoffs, they're a different team. This defense, the young pieces that they currently got on this roster, versus Braden Fisk, hey, man, they got some really good young studs. They got some good young studs. Now, it also kind of opened my eyes. Maybe the Cardinals trade back that 16th overall. Maybe the Cardinals accumulate more picks, right? But I mean, here's the thing. But you also got to hit them, right? Like, I like the fact that we had 2 first-round picks in this last year, right? Marvin Harrison Jr. and then Darius Robinson. We didn't get a good dosage of Darius to really either say, oh, man, you're good, or dang, you need to develop, right? It almost kind of seems like we're in the middle right now. Like, we've seen some flashes here and there. He's gotten close here and there, and I'm talking about Darius Robinson. But, like, there's a reason why Jared Verse is Defensive Rookie of the Year right now, right? I think he actually won that, right? I think Jared Verse won that. Man, that's a difference maker, man. He's a difference maker. Now, granted, Darius Robinson only played 6 games, right, compared to the full season. So maybe year 2, we'll see what Darius Robinson can do. But now that's all up on the table, right? Focus on the trenches. Maybe trade back and accumulate more. I think anything's on the table, man. Anything's on the table. As long as we can improve our defensive line, which needs to be improved direly, right? Edge, interior. Heck, you could even throw a freaking dart and a dartboard. We probably need help. Probably need help. If Kazir White leaves the Cardinals for another opportunity, hey, guess what? We need help at linebacker, right? The inside linebacker. Maybe we move Zaven Collins back to the middle, right? We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We got my guy Woody in the chat. What's up, Woody? He says, AZ, from the bottom of our hearts, thank you for your hospitality. The most class act behavior I've seen in a long time. AZ sports fan, as a Rams fan, I followed you for a while because you are always honest. Appreciate you, Woody. Thank you so very much for obviously the kind words. And I agree. Taking off my fandom hat, I agree. What Michael Bidwell has done is pretty darn remarkable. Yeah, especially with the short amount of time that he had to do the things. Pretty darn remarkable. So yeah, no, I 100% agree. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I'm not sure if you were able to make it to the game here in Glendale. If you did, hopefully you enjoyed it. And congrats. You made it to the divisional. Congrats. Let's read a couple more chats here. We got my guy Daddy in the chat saying, so are we going to so are we getting cash considerations for letting I doubt it. Like, you're saying the Cardinals, right? Like, obviously not. I don't know. I don't know how that works. State Farm Stadium obviously gets some sort of revenue. And I know State Farm Stadium is like technically Michael Bidwell doesn't own State Farm Stadium, but if there's something that he probably gets some sort of cut, if that's what you're asking. But like also like if you're saying like, are we gonna get any like cap wide? Nah, nothing like that. Like, no. It's just a good deed, man. That's all it is. It's a good deed. It's a good deed. It's what it is. Big Eye says Rams are cooked against the Eagles, sadly. Eagles are just too stacked on the offense. Great O-line, good receiving core, best running back in the NFL, and a good quarterback. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. It's a big test. It's a big test for the Rams. I mean, like I said before, congrats. I hate the fact that we're here because of how bad they started off the season. I almost thought, actually, I did think that they were dead in the water. I was wrong, man. I was wrong. They mustered and they went into playoff mode. So there's that. Money's probably going to people who lost a home. Oh, is that what you were asking? Like, maybe. I mean, there's yeah, probably. I thought I don't know if he was asking for like the Cardinals organization or if there was anything that was being potted to. I don't know if there was or not. Maybe. Let's read a couple more chats. We got Easy. What's up, Easy? Zaven Collins wasn't good enough to play the middle linebacker. That's why he moved to the outside linebacker. Well, I mean, that's the quandary that we have, right? It's a quandary that we're still having. Keep in mind, too, ladies and gentlemen, that the Arizona Cardinals right now, we're kind of in a really, really weird spot. Because although I think we're slated like top 4 or top 5 in the most cap space, but we got a lot of free agents to potentially bring back, right? And we also got to consider extending Trey McBride. So, like, people think that we got all this money to spend, which we do, but, like, it's going to go down. Like, that 70 mil will probably go down to 55, which is it's still a lot of money, but, like, we got to spend wisely, man. We got to spend wisely. I still want the Cardinals to get 2 or 3 solid pieces, solid starters, either defensively or offensively, to head into 2025, and then let's see what happens in the draft. So, we'll see. We'll see. Enrique, what's up, Enrique? After 6 seasons of Murray, Darnold is a better option financially for the Cardinals and can be a bridge quarterback we need. So let me ask you this, Enrique. Appreciate the comment. Are you still in on Darnold? Are you still in? Because here's the thing, right? I understand where you're coming from in terms of like you're done after the 6 years. But do you think we are going to be in a better situation with Darnold or Murray? Or are you okay with having a bad year because you're looking into 2026 anyways? Like, I guess that's the question that we're going to have to ask, right? Because for most part, Cardinal fans, we all pretty much feel like it's playoffs or bust, right? It's playoffs or bust for the Cardinals. right? Playoffs or bust. So I guess my question to you, Enrique, is are you just okay with not playoffs next year? Because, I mean, the Cardinals are going to have to find a way to get rid of Kyler if that's what they do. I don't think they're going to. I mean, at least it doesn't sound like they're going to, right? I don't know, man. I want the playoffs, right? And right now seems to be the best option. Seems to be the best option. So let's see. Playoffs or bust. I'm still in that mode, man. I'm not going to let go of that. It's playoff or bust. One IQ says, bro, is we get rid of Kyler and Sam Darnold, we'll have $1 of wait. Yeah, no, the dead money hit's gonna be pretty brutal too. Yeah. Let's not act like Kyler's playoff was any better than touche, touche, touche. But that's the thing though. I mean, like you also gotta keep and here's the thing, it's the same damn Rams, right? The same Rams that did it to both, to Kyler and to Sam Darnold. Touche on that one. But yeah, I mean it's don't put too much expectations on the fact that you think that the Cardinals are going to go after Darnold. Honestly, the way that JG's talking, he's going to roll with what we have on the roster right now. So I'll just leave it at that. Alex, what's up, Alex? Yo, Mike, I was at the Vikings / Rams game in support of my stepdad. Nice. It made me sick hearing the who's house chant in our turf. Y'all just renting. Yeah, man. It makes me very sad the fact that the Cardinals they should have been here, man. They should have been here. That's the most depressing part. That's the most depressing part of this whole thing. The Cardinals should have been here. Like we had this division in our hands. And guess what? We let it slip. The whole entire team, they let it slip. We still can't win big games. I don't care whose fault it is. The organization still can't win big games. So yeah, no, it sucks, man. It sucks. Going 2-5 after the bye week when we had probably the easiest schedule in the second half. Not good. Not good. I see the Vikings lose the way they did. I was like, man, the Cardinals probably could have been here. Cardinals could have been here. But, 2-5 ain't going to cut it. Makes me ill. Yeah, man. It's one of those things. Unfortunately, you just got to take it on the chin and see what happens in 2025. But I'm still sticking to the notion, man. Still sticking to the notion that it's playoffs or bust for me. It's playoffs or bust here in 2025 for the Arizona Cardinals. The excuses are done. Excuses are over. It's time to take action and try to make sure that this organization is being held accountable because playoffs is what we need. Playoffs is what we want. Playoffs is the next step. 4 wins, 8 wins. What's next, right? Playoffs. Now, good luck with the Rams. The Rams are looking pretty scary, man. Rams are looking pretty scary right now. We'll see. They got a lot of young talent. A lot of young talent on the Rams right now. Not worried about the 49ers. They seem to be in shambles. Seahawks are always going to be a thorn in our side, unfortunately. But let's see. See what happens. Easy in the chat says Kyler had one of the worst. It was bad. Well, here's the thing, right? Any opportunity for anybody to make some sort of narrative, there's always a way, right? Any opportunity for anybody to make any sort of narrative, like me, right, with Cliff, right? Cliff Kingsbury, oh my God, he won the playoff game before the Cardinals did. Right? So, any way to make a narrative, it's always going to be out there, man. It is what it is. So, all right. We will close up shop here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed Monday Night Football. I sure as heck did not. It was a terrible game. I wish I did anything else but watch that game. It was the Rams winning in State Farm Stadium with a lot of yellow, with a lot of Rams colors. And like I said before, if I take off my fandom hat off, it's a great thing what the Cardinals organization has done. but it hurt. It hurt. It really did. But all right. We're going to close up shop here, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. If you can do me a huge favor, especially you guys on the YouTube side, smack up that like button, ladies and gentlemen. Smack it up. Smack it up. Thank you so very much, everybody, for tuning in. We're going to close up shop right here. Hopefully, you guys have a fantastic night. Have a great rest of your day. And as always, go Cardinals.